London and Cliton Kelly into household names, and the duo seemed inseparable until a very public falling out.
Well, Stacy and Cliton are here reuniting for the first time on TV in 10 years. But first, let's take a look at how it all began.
Yeah, we're from TLC. TLC's What Not to Wear.
For 10 years, TLC's fan favorite reality show, What Not to Wear, had viewers glued to their TVs, thanks to the host's brutal honesty.
Your clothes look cheap.
Participants were nominated by friends and family who rendered them in need of a fashion makeover. And the always stylish and chic Stacy London and Cliton Kelly would transform them, throwing away the old.
How do you feel seeing all of your clothes in garbage?
And introducing new fashion rules for the participant to follow.
Clothes that are cut in a feminine, sophisticated way.
But while the duo were winning over viewers one style makeover at a time, there was tension behind the scenes. Years after the show came to an end in 2012, the rift between Cliton and Stacy became a public feud. In 2017, Cliton dished about his former co-star in his tell-all book, writing in part, "I either adored her or despised her, and never anything in between." In response, Stacy blocked Cliton on Twitter.
I literally don't know whether she blocked me yesterday or a year ago or a month ago.
Or by accident.
Or by accident. Yeah. Well, she could have unblocked me, but she hasn't, so.
They each moved on with their careers in separate directions and haven't been seen together until now.
Stacy London and Cliton Kelly are here. Okay, you all need to unpack some business. We are confused. Okay, so you had this very public falling out based on what you had written in your book. It's kind of either I loved her or I hated her.
Yes.
So how did you take what he had written in his book, Stace?
Well, I stayed real quiet and blocked him on Twitter.
Were you, what were you mad? What were you?
You know what? Look, I'm going to be totally honest. I think there was justification for what Cliton said. I think we both grew up on What Not to Wear.
Yeah.
We handled fame a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Cliton was maybe a little bit more mature about it than I was.
Yeah.
I really found it very nerve-wracking. I felt like I was supposed to be ambitious and I didn't know, if it was a small window of opportunity. And he kind of got into it a little bit easier than I did.
Okay.
So I don't think that what he wrote was unjustified. What I was more upset about was that if it's public, then the audiences who thought we were best friends, some people even thought we were married.
Yeah.
That illusion was broken. So I did not say anything, but I did block him on Twitter.
When you blocked him, were you thinking to yourself, "That's it, buddy"?
Yeah, that's it. We're done.
You were
That was it.
So no communication for a long, long time.
And the show was already done.
Yeah, but still.
Okay.
But you were friends.
So, Cliton, we need to hear your side of the story, and also what it feels like to reconcile. Like, how has this been for you?
It's been amazing, actually. It feels like a giant weight has been lifted off my shoulders. But to go back to that quote for just a second, when I said I loved her or hated her, that was the truth, right? And I wrote a book, and Stacy knows it, I know it. Everybody who worked on What Not to Wear knows that we had a love-hate relationship. So it was my personal truth that I wanted to put out there in the world. And in that book, I never said anything about Stacy's behavior. I never told any tales out of school, anything like that. And the quote was taken out of context so many times.
Clickbait.
There were hundreds of sentences before that explained how difficult What Not to Wear was behind the scenes, not just about us. And then I also said at the end that we ended up being friends at work for the last 5 years of the show. So we had one really bad season, but out of 10, that's not so terrible.
So why didn't you? Why didn't you call each other
and say what?
You know what? I think that was a point of pride, a little bit of a point of pride. And look, I read the clickbait. I didn't read the book. So when I saw the clickbait, I was hurt. I was definitely hurt, and it was hard to kind of reconcile that, especially because we had spent 10 years on a show when reality television was very new. We were both
Your show was very popular.
It was very popular, and we were thrust into the spotlight very quickly. I think it was a lot to acclimate to, and if you change somebody to each other, I mean, we were together every day for 10 years.
And our work days were 16 hours long. People don't get that. We were like this together 16 hours a day for 10 years.
Yeah.
My regret is that, I wish that we had been sort of the United Nations against a lot of what was thrown at us. Instead, I think that a lot of the tension was caused because we were tense. There was a lot going on.
So forgiveness is a big word, and we talk about that. So how did you consider it a misunderstanding, or was there a real forgiveness
How
that needed
did
to happen.
who reached out to who? What happened?
I started by writing to Clinton. I think after season 5 or
After
season
season
6,
5,
like we had a really tough time. And I will tell you that I had a moment in the shower where I was thinking about going back to work, and I thought, oh, I don't want to see this person. I don't want to see that person. I don't want to see. And then I was like, wait, what is the common denominator here?
Yeah.
I am the one who's saying I don't want to see anybody. Could I potentially be the problem?
Wow.
And it was a moment of real clarity and real shame.
Wow.
And I wrote a lot of letters, not just to Clinton, about apologizing in my behavior and recognizing
But you know what?
my part in creating that environment.
Good for you
that's
to take a moment and also to reckon with you.
Well, you have to evolve, right? I mean, when you realize that you've done something wrong, all you can do is do better.
apologize.
And
Was it just diva behavior? What was it that you were
it
apologizing
was
for?
total diva behavior, but also I think it was out of really thinking that I